that.
Is that a meteor?
No, it's traveling too slowly. It has to be something else. Fiery object sighted northeastern sky, traveling east to west at exactly... Stopped. That thing must have been magnetic. Let's go get a look at it. Nothing on Earth makes a sound like that. Must be... It has to be a ship, an interplanetary vehicle.
This is fantastic.
Kevin, shouldn't we tell someone?
Absolutely fantastic. Beings from another world.
Kevin, I don't like this. Let's get out of here.
Wait, we have to see what they look like.
I don't want to see what they look like.
Faith, don't you understand what this means to humanity? Contact with a higher intelligence.
Oh my God. Kevin, look.
This is incredible. Good Lord. They've seen us. Let's get out of here. This is going to be a job for the Army.
They'll never believe us.
They'll have to believe us.
Sheriff Haskin? Sheriff Haskin?
Meteor. It came down near Willoughby.
Wait a minute now. Slow down here. Who's this hot-headed young fella?
This is Dr. Kevin Carlson. He's an astronomer from the university.
Doc?
Only it wasn't a meteor.
I was there, too. We both saw it.
Now, you take it easy. Go slow. Take a deep breath. Now, tell me from the beginning.
Sheriff, we were out past the Santamir Mountains, and we saw a thing across the sky.
You mean like a big burning light?
You saw it, too.
Oh, the switchboard's been going crazy. An Air Force jet crashed. Oh, not more than 30 minutes ago. The crew parachuted to safety. HG can confirm that, can't you?
Came in over the AP wire 20 minutes ago.
Mr. Orson puts out the town newspaper once a week.
It must have been a training flight. They've been dropping those things out of the sky for years. Desert's littered with them. And, you know, sometimes I think those boys just like jumping out of airplanes.
Listen to me. We saw it. This wasn't any Air Force jet. It was a spaceship. And they fired at us.
There were creatures on it, Sheriff. Horrible, ugly monsters.
Ugly monsters. Look, son, you don't look like the hysterical type to me. I've known this little lady since she was knee-high to a tadpole. I'll tell you what. I'm headed out that way now. Why don't you get in your car and follow me? Show me what you saw, and we'll clear it up in no time. Oh, Faith, Dr. Carlson, this is Major Whitmore, head of the investigation team.
Hello, Dr. Carlson.
Go ahead, son. Why don't you tell the Major what you saw? The fiery meteor, the bug-eyed monsters, the death ray?
I'm sorry. I must have made a mistake, obviously.
That's all right, Dr. Carlson. Happens to the best of us. In fact, I saw a UFO once myself. Sheriff Haskins, there's something I'd like to show you if you have the time.
Why don't you two come with me? There's something I'd like you to see.
We have to get back to town.
It's all right, Dr. Carlson. Faith, there's nothing to be afraid of.
I wouldn't trust my own grandmother in a place like this.
Should I radio ahead?
Don't bother. They're not going anywhere.
Hello, operator. Could you get me the FBI?
I'm sorry, sir. Those lines are out right now. Would you like to try again later?
No,
If you stay where you are, sir, I can send a service truck. Sir? Hello? Sir? Are you there, please? Hello, sir?
My Uncle Ira's a ham radio operator. Maybe we can get a message out through him.
I'll drop you off. I'm gonna find Orson. Maybe he can get word out on his newspaper's AP wire.
Faith, remember how we feel about each other. They can't take that away from us.
No. We won't let them.
Okay, I'll meet you at Pop's Diner.
Kevin, be careful.
Well, did you find your flying saucer? Are we being invaded by Martians?
Mr. Orson? Mr. Orson, can you send a message out on your AP wire?
Well, what is it this time? Dinosaurs? Giant ants? Tarantulas as big as houses?
Listen to me, this is no joke. We are being invaded. They look like human beings, but inside, they're monsters. We saw them. They made a mistake. A flash camera shines through the illusion. It must have something to do with the frequency of the light.
Son, if I sent that story out on the AP wire, Mr. AP himself would come out here and rip out my teletype with his own bare hands.
You've got to believe me. There might still be time to stop them. Call in an airstrike. The army. Somebody.
Something wrong, son?
No, nothing's wrong. Nothing at all.
You look a little nervous, son. Why don't you sit down and have a cup of coffee on the house?
No, thanks. I'll pass.
Kevin!
What happened?
Kevin! Oh, I'm so scared.
Couldn't you get through?
Oh, I couldn't even ask. Kevin, he's not my Uncle Ira anymore. I saw his hand. He's one of them.
Come on. Alive.
Well, son, you gave us quite a chase.
I wanted to warn the world.
Kevin, you're acting very, very human. What are we gonna do with you?
Faith? Remember what we said in the car? Remember how we feel about each other?
I remember.
They can't take that away from us.
Yes, they can.
Faith, we've got to resist.
It's too late, Kevin. I've already been reprogrammed. Trust me. Don't resist it. It's easier that way.
I hate wearing these rubber alien masks.
I told you he's too aggressive.
Yes, and very independent, too.
We could use those qualities.
It's really just a question of programming.
You'll never get away with this. We'll fight you. And we'll defeat you. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But we'll do it. You can count on it!
We're going to reprogram you now. Listen to me, Kevin. This is Altair 4, not Earth. You're in a commando training base. You're not a human being. You're one of us. A commando being trained for the invasion of Earth.
No! No! This can't be happening! Sheriff! Big meteor. Came down near Matheson. Only, it wasn't a meteor.
Hold on. Slow down, son. A meteor, you say?
Candidly asks, hey, Candidly says, Mark, could you give your opinion on whether we should work to take down this matrix and in what ways, or if we should just get out? Yeah, this is a big one, Candidly. It's a good thing you brought that up. Wow. It says an ad every 3 minutes? That's insane. Anyways, I wonder if they change it based on the country that you're watching. It wouldn't surprise me. Anyways, going back to what Candidly said, she says, Mark, could you give me your opinion on whether we should, work to take the Matrix down? Or should we, just get out? I think this question is one that comes up a lot. I've talked about it a lot. But just to reiterate, this is a sovereign journey, guys. Your intention to leave and not be interfered with is most important. I personally do not believe that any one individual, any group could theoretically take this place down. And I'm strongly saying that too. I just don't believe it happens. If it was possible, it would have already happened. We have Gnostics, we have Buddhism. We can go down the list, right? Like we are not, like Dan was talking about earlier, we're not the first ones to kind of see this reality for what it is and want to fix it. So that doesn't mean that we're the first ones to kind of look at the sovereign approach and all that stuff. And I think it's in most, if not all of our hearts and intention to want to put this fucking parasitic mess to an end. But at the same time, I don't think it works. And this is kind of my opinion on it. I talked about it years ago, like kind of in depth. I don't remember the title of the video, so I'm sorry. It's out there somewhere. and it's been talked about periodically over the years too. But I think when you have the majority, we'll say the majority rules, right? If the majority rules out there, right? Everybody, your neighbors, the vast majority of people out there, if they are under the spell, the illusion, the propaganda machine between the astral and here, in buying into it, who's to say that, let's just throw out a number there, right? Let's just say, how many subscribers I have? What was it, like 17,000 or something? Let's just say 17,000 of us versus the mass collective that have their intention. Some of it may be reluctant, but let's just say the vast majority of people out there and true essence beings in between states before they come back, or maybe just come for the first time to Earth. I don't think it doesn't make any sense number-wise that we would be able to override their intentions, right? And that's like just on a very basic level, assuming that something like majority rules is even a thing. What the hell do I know, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but all I do know is that I think the worst mistake any of us could make is to assume that we can take on this place and close it down. Now, perhaps, maybe, and this is a big fat maybe. Maybe once we're kind of, and even like this is something I would never do. I'm just not going to involve myself in anything to do with this place whatsoever ever again. Period. The end. I don't care what is going on here. I've put in my dues, and I'm not involving myself ever again with anything related to this place. Okay? Because the last thing I want to do is end up back here in some little sneaky bullshit way that is cloaked as some clandestine operation to take the damn thing down, and then get jammed right up the ass with it. No. So that's just me, okay? But let's just kind of throw it out there that if you are said warrior out there that you would like to roll the dice and take such a chance, and if you do, all the power to you. But if you're willing to take a chance on something like that, you have better gone through your whole sovereign intention and really be connected with who and what you are to have enough resolve within to know that you could potentially come back here and end up in this mess all over again in an effort to help others. Now, that's not to say that it isn't noble and that it's not, like I tip my hat, right? But I always say, like, we're here now, right? The time to help is now. It's not after we've left here. It's not coming back and calling in the cavalry to do something. We're here, right now. You know what I'm saying? You can make a difference in a small way. It doesn't have to be a big way. It doesn't have to be YouTube or anything like that. But right now, you can do it. And you probably strike out a bunch of times and until you get someone who's receptive. But eventually, depending on how much you put yourself out there, whether it's, in your local community or the internet or whatever, eventually you'll probably strike a chord with some who can relate to the data, right? To the information and trying to make sense of things. So I think anyone, if I don't know who's out there, I know there are some, but if you run into someone like saying, "Oh, we need to build a strike force," or that we need to rally around and do this to help take this thing down, it would have already happened, guys. Let's just face it, right? Our memories are erased. It's clear by the evidence that's in this realm that there's been multiple resets. I don't know how many, but I will go out on a limb and say somewhere between 3 and 5. And that, think about that number between 3 and 5. That, in my opinion, probably happened, right? And some of you probably come up with that same number, right? And that's just what we suspect. Who's to know how long this whole damn operation's been going on and the extent of its claws? How many other realms could be involved with this whole parasitic loose system, right? Not to mention the astral, not to mention other, material realms. And then, of course, here we are on Earth. We don't know the extent of the claws. And so I ask to each and every one of you, do you want to get involved with that? Do you really, really want to get involved with, rolling the dice and coming back and dealing with this mess? There's no upside. There's no upside because I think the chance, the upside would obviously be helping others and actually shutting it down. But what if you're just fed an illusion? I've talked about that early on in the channel too. Like, what if they feed an illusion like, hey, you're Mr. and Mrs. Warrior. You're going to take this thing down. But yet, it was like a Matrix projection all along, right? Can you decipher that is what's happening in the moment? What happens for you to get in that moment, right? And to experience that, and then maybe eventually realize it, but then your memory, I don't see the upsides. I see nothing but downsides. I see one big mega upside. But that upside involves me and you risking each of our individual selves for what's happening already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see, again, like I talk about all the time, like, be selfish. Take care of you. Do you when you get out of here, right? Try to help people now. Try to help in this lifetime. This is when you can do the most. You can reach the most amount of people. You can do it now. You don't have to wait till you're dead and end up through the meat grinder again, the loose grinder. Or, go out and do your sovereign intentions, put yourself in your own realm and through non-interference and liberation, sovereignty. And then I think the last thought that we should have after leaving this matrix should be this place. That's just my opinion. I think most of us have put in who knows how many endless lifetimes here. And we don't know, right? We don't have the memories to know how far, how deep that whole thing goes in relation to us as individuals. We just don't know. But I think it goes pretty damn deep for each and every one of us. We've probably been through the ringer. We've probably had, ecstatic experiences. Maybe we've gone from living on the streets and the slums to probably being some celebrity jazz guitarist. Who knows, right? We've probably experienced it all. Some sex symbol, you know what I'm saying? We've probably experienced it all. But at the end of the day, is it really worth it? Ask yourself, is it really worth me risking my sovereign self, my true essence, for what seems to be a slim possibility of success to take down the entire realm? Make of it what you will. I just don't, me personally, I'll have nothing to do with it. Like this, what I'm doing now and talking and putting this information out, that's my contribution. And whatever the fuck happens after I'm gone, peace. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to have any sort of energy or concentration or anything kind of directed here in relation to anything that's happened here. I just, when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. Bye bye. That's all. So that's just my opinion on it. But I get the, I get it. I mean, like I felt the same way for a few years there. I mean, 2 years. Like I felt that same way. It's like, hey, what can we do to actually take it down? Like to stop this parasitic mess. And it's just beyond my comprehension. Like I don't see it being possible when you have a vast majority that just props it up and believes in it and puts their whole being into that belief, which just powers this creative mess that we're in, right? How does a minority overpower a vast majority that buy into the bullshit? And from the smallest thing, it says people can know that this place is like a scam. They can know that it's unjust and bullshit and contain a lot of good and stuff like that. People can have all of that running through their head, but at the end of the day, what is their belief system? Is it Jesus? Is it Buddha? Muhammad? The bearded man in the sky? Jeb Bush? Donald J. Trump? Macron? Trudeau? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like the Pope? Sad Guru? So we can go on and on and on. Like at the end of the day, like if you are allowing yourself to give your essence, your intention over to a matrix figure or a matrix narrative, then who's winning in the end? It certainly isn't you. You can maybe take, valuable pieces of information that come from that, but and apply them with sovereign intention, but at the same time, like if you're allowing yourself to be kind of controlled by that through your own intention and belief systems, then you're no different than the neighbor or the town council or the whoever, right? Or the average everyday voter, who believes that they're actually going to get change by, going into the voting booth. It's not going to change. But yet the voter is putting that intention into the voting machine for their own enslavement. Some may hear that message and not like it and say, "Oh, well, it's better than this one, better than that one." Well, that's what the Matrix does. It gives you these choices. It gives you these false choices of perception that if you go and put your intention and your energy into this in the voting booth, that you will get that. Or if you put this into the voting booth, you will get this and that. When at the end of the day, you're going to come out, flick that curtain back, drive back to work, go home, pay your bills, and 4 years later, you're going to still have the same dick up your ass that you had 4 years ago. Okay? It's that simple.